It's the Tiki and Tierney Show. Oh, yeah, we start revving up that action for the Super Bowl. And thank God he is gone. No more of this Kyrie nonsense, this drama. And the real story now, Teague, shifts to Kevin Durant, who by all accounts, at least the way I see it, Kevin Durant is probably guilty of the greatest miscalculation, at least in modern sports, that I can identify. I mean, think about what Kevin Durant did in the middle of his prime. He willingly hitched his wagon to Kyrie Irving. How's that going for you?
Yeah, and here's the problem, is that there were alternatives that maybe didn't seem as interesting or fun. Other teams he could have gone to. Hell, he could have stayed with the Golden State Warriors and tried to run it back and win another championship, even though the Draymond Green situation maybe was getting a little bit untenable. But, I mean, that's just personal interactions. Ultimately, you want to win, and he wanted to do it on his own terms, and he falls into the same situation that we've talked about for years with Kevin Durant. Who does he belong to? So, in some ways, you're right. But in real time, I think Kevin Durant was making a decision that felt perfect for him at the time, right? He had won championships. He had won a league MVP. He'd won finals MVPs. He'd done everything that he needed to do. He's on this trajectory to be the greatest scorer of all time. So to think that he was miscalculating by going to play with one of his boys, I think it can be revisionist when you put it that way.
Sure. Well, sure. But I don't think I was saying this right away.
But
sure.
I think Kevin Durant has had such an amazing and unique path anyways. It's debatable, but it just didn't work out. But you can't fault him for that, though.
Well, I mean, it's not even a fault. I actually feel badly for Kevin Durant. All Kevin Durant wants to do is show up, drop 35, go home, smoke a bone, play games, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good life.
Yes.
And it was just, complicated and subverted by Kyrie Irving, who's just, he's unique, man. And he's no longer our headache. Good luck with that, Dallas. So, I look at Kevin Durant, and the NBA is really, I think more so than even baseball. And with baseball, we romanticize the guys, the players, one player, one team, Cal Ripken, Derek Jeter, you know the name, Ernie Banks, right? But I think with the NBA, while you're not penalized as much, it's going to be a little tougher to translate Kevin Durant's NBA, not accomplishments, but who's he belong to?
Yeah.
Like Oklahoma City doesn't want to claim him.
No.
The Warriors, not that they don't respect him, but they got Steph. Steph's the guy. Clay, I know Clay's a shell of what he was.
Yeah.
Clay's the guy. Now, even Rick Barry in the mid-'70s won a championship. Run TMC. They don't care about Kevin Durant.
Well, this is why I can't fault him for wanting to leave Golden State, because at some point, when you are the star, like you are the guy. I know that was Steph's team, so to speak, out in Golden State when they won those championships. But the star was Kevin Durant. He was the one who was unstoppable. He had his spots. He would get to him. He'd knock down the shots. They'd get to the NBA Finals. He was the Finals MVP. And, in fact, that was the knock on Steph, is that, without Kevin Durant, with Kevin Durant there, he couldn't win the Finals MVP, even though it was his team. So if you're KD and you are the man, but nobody sees you as the man because it's Steph's team, don't you have to leave?
Yeah, that's why I
NBA?
didn't begrudge him. I had an issue with him going to Golden State after he lost, but that's really, going back in the time machine. I don't know that we want to really waste anybody's time with that here in New York. When you join a team that just punked you, I thought it was a bit of a weak move. And I said it back then nationally, and you didn't disagree. Kevin Durant, though, as where it gets very interesting for the Nets here. What do the Nets do? I heard all weekend, I shouldn't say that this was the overwhelming theme, but it was, I think, the biggest part of the conversation. Most people think, now you got to trade Kevin Durant. I think it's the worst time to trade Kevin Durant. I really do. The money is through the roof, and he's earned every penny. He's under contract for 4 more years, 44, 47, 51, and $54 million. Okay, so you tell me, if you own the Nets and they are in disarray right now because of the Kyrie situation, what kind of deal are you going to get for him? What are you going to get?
Yeah, the Nets aren't going to. They don't have a position of power.
They are a position of weakness.
Yeah, because he's got so much money left on his deal. Now, with that being said, if you're a team that's desperate, kind of like the Dallas Mavericks were desperate. This screams of desperation from the Dallas Mavericks. We can't find anybody to put around Luka Doncic. We have one of the best players, if not the best current player in the game right now, and we're sitting in this sixth spot.
Yeah, we can't waste these years.
We can't waste these years trying to figure out, is it going to be, whoever it is. Like, it didn't matter. They can't put someone around Luka that's helping them win. But you bring Kyrie, maybe it helps because Kyrie is such a superstar on the court. Forget all the stuff off the court for a second. I'm saying on the court. But for the Mavericks, it does feel desperate to go get Kyrie Irving. So what other team is in that type of situation? That's the only way you're able to move Kevin Durant, is if some other team is desperate for one of these superstars that potentially is movable. Because let's face it, most of these guys don't move, right? They don't move unless they get to the end of their contracts and they're ready to go someplace else. They're not going to win. Kevin Durant is wrapped up for 3 more years? 4 more years?
He's got 4.
4 more years. So the only way they're moving him is if some other team is utterly desperate for relevancy and a championship run like the Dallas Mavericks.
And maybe that's Portland with Damian Lillard, time's ticking on him. But again, to me, the timing of it is awful. Like, this is why if I'm the Nets, I'm just so disgusted with the whole Kyrie and the residue from the Kyrie Irving stuff. Like, everything about Kyrie Irving made our life tougher. We didn't know when you were showing up. You weren't emotionally reliable. And now you complicate things with Kevin Durant. Now, the timing of this is why I wouldn't trade him now. I'm not saying that I'm not open if I'm from the Nets perspective, this summer where I've got time on my side and I'm not pushed into a corner and I've got 3 days to come up with some mega trade. No, I've got to do this on my own terms. I'm not saying that you couldn't find a suitor. Kevin Durant's amazing when he's healthy, although that's less and less frequent. Of course, people are going to call the Nets. They probably already called. I'm sure they have. But I don't know. Like, the worst thing the Nets could do is make a quick twitch trade here just to kind of, all right, KD's not happy. And I got news for you. There's no way Kevin Durant's happy.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody thinks.
I mean, maybe.
Well, no, I don't think.
Don't you think he's come to the realization that nothing good was going to ever happen with Kyrie? And I'm not saying this to knock their relationship, because who knows what these guys' relationships are. But don't you think even a blind man could see this was not going to work out well in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving? It's just always something. And even if he is boys with Kyrie, he had to start saying something always is coming up, right? I'm okay if Kyrie is not here. Let's try to get something that's going to help us win now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like he had to have had approval on this. It's not like the Brooklyn Nets, out of nowhere, hey, Kevin, guess what? Come in tomorrow. Kyrie's gone.
Yeah, no, that part I agree with. Right? He was conferred or whatever word you want to use. There is no way he was blindsided. Wow, they just traded my guy? Yeah, I agree with that.
Not necessarily approval, but he was definitely aware of it.
I do agree with that.
And he's probably okay with it.
Well, yeah, for now.
Yeah.
For now. I mean, where are they going? They're going nowhere. Yeah. Where are they going?
I mean, they're going to the 5 seed, 4 seed, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought they were a lock to be a 4 seed and to win some games with Kyrie and KD. But I mean, you take Kyrie out of the equation now. It's very much. I don't know that it's going to be a one and done, depending upon the matchup. But this team's not going to make any sort of run. Mm-mm. They're just not. I got news for you, and this is going to sound wacky. I think the best possible, although I don't think it's wise to do it now, I think there'll be better offers during the summer when people can think and there's more clarity and there's less pressure to beat the deadline expiration. I think the best potential trade partner for the Nets is the Knicks. Now,
for Kevin Durant.
Yes. Now, the Nets will never do that. I don't know if the Knicks would do it, but are you telling me, that from a Nets perspective, because from the Knicks perspective, it's easy. Mm-hmm. Of course, they would want Durant. Although as a Knicks fan, I'm not so sure that I want him, but whatever.
Yeah, you would.
Nah, honestly, I don't think I would. There's been too much drama.
You would hate it. For Kevin Durant, he doesn't
have
too
much drama, man. But if I'm the Nets and you could get, a package of, I don't think that they want R.J. Barrett, nor would I, and that's a different discussion. But like a Grimes, a McBride, a Toppin, multiple ones, that's not on some level appealing? I mean, the first round pick that they got for Kyrie is 2029.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem with the Kyrie trade is that it feels so far out in the future that it's irrelevant to right now. And if you're the Nets and you're trying to salvage something out of this season, by the way, when Kyrie wasn't playing and Kevin Durant was, the Nets were one of the best teams in basketball.
Yes, they were.
Right? They had climbed to within I think a half a game, maybe it was a game, but they were close to the Boston Celtics, and they had the second best record in all of basketball, including the Western Conference, obviously. And then KD got hurt, and then we know where they slid to, which is just about average. So I think if Kevin is healthy, this team can surprise us if they get the right pieces around him. The question is, how do you do that? And right, so is it now, if you're the Nets, are you stripping it down, starting it over, throwing the Spencer Dinwiddies out there and whoever else, the Joe Harrises, et cetera, just playing it out and just figuring out, what comes next? Or are you trying to make a run? And I think the consensus right now is that the Nets are going to try to make a run around Kevin Durant once he's healthy, which makes it really urgent these next 3 days, 4 days, whenever it is. Trade deadline's Thursday?
I think it's Thursday. Thursday.
So basically 3.5 days to make something of all of these assets that they have and reflip them for somebody else and get Kevin Durant another, not a superstar, but another very valuable piece so they can win now and get back to where everyone thought they were going to be with Kyrie Irving.
All right, 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney here on the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. It is nuts, though. You think about this, like MJ and Kareem and Magic and Bird and the Big O and Clyde Frazier and any other NBA luminary, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan. Like, there's immediate identification. Oh, this guy did this there. Kevin Durant, it's all over the map. And I do think, not that he cares about this. He's in the game of life. He's won. The amount of money he's made and the things that he's done, he's obviously won. But in terms of how he's viewed, I do think that it's, I don't think transient is a good thing. I don't. I don't think when you don't have an identifiable home, not that nobody claims you, but when you don't have a universal home, that's not good, number one. Number two, from the now perspective, what do you do with Durant? Tiki's right. There is no way that Kevin Durant woke up or just got a text or saw the tweet from Shams.
Guess what?
He's gone.
Kyrie's gone.
He gone. No, there's absolutely conferral. Otherwise, the Nets are beyond hopeless if they didn't, because that's going to make more issues.
Yep.
So I do believe that they let Kevin know about this. They gauged his opinion. But the next step is you trade him now, or you trade him over the summer, or you don't trade him. I think this is really one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest failures in New York sports. The problem is nobody cares because it's the Brooklyn Nets. If this was the Yankees, if this was the Mets, if this was the Knicks, if this was the Jets, if this was the Giants, this would have overrun the city's coverage. But it's the Nets.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it.
Yeah,
It really is.
the Nets have to salvage this in any way possible. And the only way that's going to happen is, one, KD get healthy. And two, they make this team relevant now. Like they can't just push it down the line, whatever down the line means. Now, I'm not talking about 6 years to this 2029 first round draft pick, but they can't push anything down the line. They have to show an urgency because Kevin Durant's going to be 35 pretty soon.
Yep.
And I'm not saying he's washed by any stretch, but 35-year-old basketball knees who've been playing since he was in the NBA since he was 18.
Yeah, big minutes.
That's just a lot, man. He's had nothing but injuries over the last 3 seasons, maybe even 4 seasons. You got to make this thing relevant, like right now, if you're the Nets.
All right, let's get to you. First up, Mike Bayonne. We jumpstart a new week here on the show. Make it good, Mike. What's happening, buddy?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, gentlemen, what's going on? Hey, listen, this has been going on for a while with the NBA. The product of the NBA is just an atrocious product. We got players running the league. We got coaches that look like they're coaching rec basketball games on the sidelines. It's completely out of control.
Yeah, it's not a lot of control. I was watching the Knicks game yesterday, the Knicks and the 76ers, and there was a couple like series back and forth where they just come down, find an open, just jack up a three, miss it, get the rebound, come down the other way, just jack up a three. Guys. I'm just like, come on, what are we watching here?
It's totally more than that. The other day, the Lakers come into town for the only time all year.
Yeah, you're right.
At Barclays, we got fans shelling out hundreds of dollars,
thousands in certain situations, possibly,
to come see LeBron James for the one time all year in Brooklyn. And what does he do? He sits out. Guys back in the day, I'm 41 years old, so I've seen all the greats. And these guys played 82 games nonstop
or tried
year.
to, or certainly tried to.
Or tried to. Now, Kyrie Irving's been in the league for 12 years. He's played 70-plus games 3 times in his career. It's a joke.
No, I'll tell you what, Mike, the NBA, it's funny that that's the first call that we took here. And the Kyrie situation is emblematic of a bigger issue with this sport. I have said for years, I don't think Adam Silver is a very good commissioner.
Yeah.
I flat out said it. Can somebody explain to me what Adam Silver has done?
Yeah.
And please don't tell me about the global economic impact.
It's funny.
I know that's where you're going. I know they make money.
That's my retort, is that, the money has exploded, but it's almost to the detriment of the product.
At what cost? Yeah.
Right?
People, other countries might be jumping in, but domestic fans are jumping out.
BT, I remember when, I forgot who the first, maybe it was LeBron, I don't remember. It was like $36 million. And it just hit me like, dude, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies don't make that much money. And I remember we said this on the national broadcast. We're like, these guys don't care about like the relationship with the fans. They have zero connectivity to the people they're playing in front of. And so when LeBron James comes across the country, knowing good and damn well that people want to, even if they hate him, they want to see him play. It's like Michael Jordan in the hate. Okay, did you get a ticket? Michael's coming to town. Did you get a ticket? It's the same thing with LeBron. They don't care. They don't care about being the reason that people are coming to the arena anymore. They don't care about that because they're making too much money. Right, and I'm not knocking them. It just is what it is. There's a complete disconnect between NBA players and fans, and if you don't believe that, just look at how players treat fans. It's not nearly the same as it used to be.
It's not. That is well said. All right, so we're going to get these calls here. Obviously, Super Bowl. We're going to start slowly getting into it. We're not hitting you hard the first few days. It's boring. We're not going to have on, so-and-so pushing some product that you don't care about. We're talking about what we want to talk about, which is what you guys want to talk about, obviously. The stories here. And then by, late in the week, we will obviously ratchet up the football stuff. But there is some Rodgers stuff that has gone down over the weekend. We'll get that in. The Giants might lose their OC. He's on the short list. So we got a good list for the Cardinals. We got a good list of things for you here on the show. Tiki and Tierney just out of the chute on this Monday. 877-337-6666.